Hey, good evening, Glynn County. This is Jay Wiggins, Interim Chief of the Glynn County Police Department, joining you again for a virtual town hall meeting. We want to have the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about the Glynn County Police Department, some things that we've had going on since our last virtual town hall meeting. I want to take the opportunity, one of the great suggestions we received last time was to kind of give an update of where we're at and what we've done and changed since our last virtual town hall meeting. So I'm going to kind of give a state of the department of address that kind of talks about some of the things that we've been doing since the last time we had the opportunity to talk. So to begin with, we have been working with an organization called NOBLE, which is the National Organization for Black Law Enforcement Officers, nationally renowned organization that works very closely with police departments, and several of our command staff have become members of that organization and attended virtual town hall meetings. Also, NOBLE has agreed to come here to Glynn County and work hand in hand with the Glynn County Police Department to make us a better police department. One of the other things we've done is we've implemented an employee relations committee that consists of officers from each patrol shift, all the other divisions, and a sergeant as a facilitator for the group. The group was formed based on recommendations from the IACP, the International Association of Chiefs of Police report, and is tasked with ideas and solutions to make the agency better. So what we're doing is we're taking an opportunity to try and change not only for the community, but from within. So the officers have some buy-in and some say-so as to what we do and how we make it a better police department. In just a little bit, I'll let Captain Smith talk to you a little bit about a new program we've got coming online in the next couple of days called Cop Logic, which will make an even easier way for citizens to interact with the Glynn County Police Department and make us aware of things that are going on in the community that they want addressed. Since the last time we talked, I have taken the opportunity to sit down and speak with each individual officer within the police department. I'm at about 80% of the department right now, and I've got to say I've been absolutely overwhelmed. Just the opportunity to sit and talk with these officers. We have a lot of really smart, enthusiastic, capable officers. And while they're concerned about what's going on across the country with law enforcement in general, they're more concerned about what's going on here in Glynn County. They want it to be a better agency. They want to work more closely with the community. And I think we've got a police department to be proud of. I know that I'm very appreciative of the officers that work with us and that they do a great job every day to get out there and try and make it a safe community for everybody. We did have an opportunity for a couple of the county commissioners and the county manager to come out and speak with our officers. The officers we got great feedback, had an opportunity to talk with them on a more relaxed level and talk about some of the concerns and some of the things that we might need to do to make it a better police department. We've also had an opportunity to meet with our police advisory panel. We discussed that a little bit in our first town hall meeting. That's a group of industry professionals that are working to help the police department. They are putting forth ideas and taking recommendations from the police department so that we can make it a better police department. They've come out and introduced themselves to the police officers and explained to them their role in working with the police department, and I think that whole program is going to be good for everybody involved. Of course, we conducted our first virtual town hall meeting, and this will not be our last. This is our second in a series. We plan to continue. We hope that we get good feedback from this. We're interested in what you have to say and how we can help you. We're continuing to update the police department's policy manual. We're at 48% complete on that. That is one of the things that we're going to need to have completed so that we can move forward with state accreditation, which is also very important to us, that we make the agency an accredited agency again. We did have an opportunity to meet with Deputy Director Bill Fallon of the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center and Branch Chief Skeet Brewer of the state and local training that can be provided to the Glynn County Police Department from the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. We've often said to have a facility like that right here in our backyard. We're very incredibly lucky here in local law enforcement to have those trainers and that facility on call to help us with our training and to make our officers better on a daily basis. We've already started some virtual training with that. We have several of our officers that are going through classes now with the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center that deal with use of force and de-escalation. and they will become train the trainers, and they will come back to the police department and train the other officers in the most current and updated use of force and de-escalation tactics. We have been meeting with several different software companies. One of those is Axon Corporation in reference to our body cameras, our tasers, and software updates for the agency. We're also working currently to fulfill the International Association of Chiefs of Police study. There are certain guidelines and high points that we're checking off as we move forward. Some of our staff assisted with a Zoom meeting with a group called Soul RX in regards to keeping our community safe, and we got a lot of good feedback from that. We've also moved forward. We have conducted sergeant promotional tests and interviews and completed that process. That consisted of using supervisors from surrounding agencies to come in and be a part of that process, so it even makes it more transparent that it's not from within, but we have other agencies that come in and assist us with it. One of the other things we've been working on, and what we're really going to kind of focus on tonight, is recruiting. We've had the opportunity to meet with a group called Community First, which is a group of pastors here in Glynn County. They've been very helpful, very supportive. We've had 2 meetings with them already and plan to have more meetings with them. And they are a great resource for us. One of the things we've talked about is making our department more of a reflection of Glynn County and the citizens of Glynn County. And the way we do that is through you and through pastoral groups and churches, the kids in school. We need to start looking for tomorrow's leaders today. So by reaching out to groups like that and working with them, we want to find people that want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. So if you know somebody that's interested in law enforcement, we've got a lot of great local assets to draw on, the College of Coastal Georgia, and they have a law enforcement training program there. But what I really want to concentrate on tonight is letting you know what we're looking for and how you can help us find our next police officers. Because if they come from you and they come from this community, then I think we'll be more responsive and more able to interact. Now, joining me tonight, I failed to do this when we first got started. I apologize. I've got behind the camera, we've got Anna Trapp with us. She's helping us out tonight, so we appreciate that very much. We have Officer Brandon Condo. He's also helping us out. Captain Rick Evans, who is our administrative captain. Captain Gene Smith, who is our captain over the patrol division. And tonight, really, we're going to concentrate on Officer Colin Scoggins. Officer Colin Scoggins is the recruiter for our police department, and he has been doing yeoman's work. He has really been out there looking for good, qualified applicants so that we can build the police department back up with good, strong, qualified applicants. And I'm going to turn the program over to him and let him talk a little bit about what he's been doing. And he's been doing a great job. Thank you, Colin, for being here with us tonight.
Thank you, Chief. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. As Chief has said numerous times, the Glynn County Police Department belongs to the citizens of Glynn County. And so one of the things that I look for when I am recruiting is I want to hire as many local residents as I can. Now, we also do 2 processes when we're hiring folks. We do look for certified candidates, which are people that already have a police certification in the state of Georgia. We also look for non-certified candidates that we are willing to hire and send to the police academy. So right now my focus has been primarily on certified candidates, but I've been very thankful to be able to have a plethora of certified candidates, and I think right now, as of my count today, I'm processing 22 certified candidates. So that's a great number, and yes, that takes a lot of work, but what I'd like to do in the next month or so is to transition to processing non-certified candidates, and so a lot of that will be reaching out to our community. As Chief said, the Community First group we met with the other night gave some great ideas. Now, COVID-19 has put a little bit of a damper on doing some in-person job fairs and things like that, but we're also reaching out. We're doing virtual job fairs. So we will be doing social media notices when we're getting ready to participate in those virtual job fairs, and so I recommend that you keep up with our page, that you follow us, and hopefully you're able to participate in some of those virtual job fairs that we're going to do, because we want to see what our community has to offer, and we want to hire the best folks that we can that are invested in this community. One of the phrases I use when I'm out recruiting is be the change that you want to see in your community. So if you'd like to see things changed or like to see things done differently, then feel free to apply with us. And a lot of people just don't have any idea what the requirements are for becoming a police officer with Glynn County. And currently those requirements primarily are that you're a U.S. citizen, that you're 21 years of age, that you don't have any felony convictions, and then you can apply. You can put in an application with us, and we'll begin that process. And Glynn County has a great webpage set up already, and if you go to that glenncounty.org, there's a tab on there that says available jobs. And once you click on the available jobs tab, you'll see a listing that says Police Officer 1. Now that is the listing that we use to process certified and non-certified candidates. So I've had a few people that do call me and say, I only see Police Officer 1, and they may think because they're not certified that that's not the right tab, but it is. Police Officer 1 is what you'll click on. It'll give you a full job description, and it will also give you access to the application. The public safety application can be printed, filled out, it can be scanned and emailed back to the email address that is on that application, which is jobs@glenncounty-ga.gov. And then what happens is once that application is received, Human Resources, they do a little bit of a vetting process, and they make sure that everyone meets those initial requirements that I just covered. And then they forward them over to me as the department recruiter. I receive those, and I work hand in hand with Human Resources. Normally we're speaking at least daily. And when I get those applications, I obviously review them, and then we begin deciding, or I decide they're either a certified candidate or non-certified. And then after that, once we set up an interview date, we contact our applicants, and everyone comes in, and they sit for an interview panel, which is a panel made up of 3 officers from the department. Could be supervisors, officers. It's made up of a varying degree, so that we get input from all levels. And once you participate in that interview panel, as long as the panel is unanimous and recommends that you move forward from that interview, then we move to the next phase, which is where I begin to do your background investigation. So we contact your references, we contact your previous employment, your current employment, and do those things. And then we move into something that's called a computer voice stress analysis, which is similar to an old school lie detector, if you will, but it's modern technology, and it works off of the stress detected in your voice. But we do that with all of our candidates. It's a requirement that we do. And then once we're done with that, we discuss pay. And I'll tell you right now, even for a non-certified police recruit, we start at $39,312 a year, which in this region, the southeast region of Georgia, that's one of the highest non-certified police recruit salaries that there is. Now really outside of Metro Savannah in the southeastern region, we have one of the highest starting salaries. Now if you're a certified police officer, you have the ability to make anywhere from $39,705 a year, all the way up to $47,174 a year. And I can tell you as well, because I do lots of research, I'm constantly reaching out to other agencies, even for certified officers, that is one of the best salaries in the Southeast. Now, in order, as a certified officer, to be eligible for those higher salary amounts, obviously we're going to review your experience, your training, your education, and those things all have to be in line with the goals that we're looking for in order to get a higher starting salary. But once we discuss pay and we make that determination to move forward, I present my information to the Office of the Chief, and the Chief will make a decision to move ahead with hiring an applicant, and then I turn your stuff over back to Human Resources. And the last part of our process as a police officer is Human Resources will schedule you for a psychological exam that has to be completed. You also have to do a urinalysis for drugs and nicotine. And then also a general physical exam that's required. And that's it. It's a pretty streamlined and simple process that working hand in hand with human resources, we tend to flow pretty well with this. And from start to finish, the process can take anywhere from as little as 5 to 6 weeks to up to, a month and a half to 2 months, depending on, sometimes it's how quickly your references call us back. So I've had actually instances where I have to call an applicant and say, hey, have your reference call me back, please return my call. But typically it goes pretty quick, and obviously there's some time involved with retrieving records from previous employers and things like that, but the process does go pretty quick. Now, I'm available at all times to answer questions, whether it be through email or through the phone as well. Recently, we created a new email address to specifically ask questions concerning jobs with the Glynn County Police Department. And that email address is gcpdjobs@glenncounty-ga.gov. And that email address comes directly to the members of the admin division. So we all have access to that. So if you have a general question about police work, you can simply send an email to that email address. A member of admin will see that question and will directly respond to you. Or we also may ask, hey, what's the time we can schedule a phone call? And the last time that we did a social media push with hiring, I think we got about 8 or 9 emails right away. And out of those 8 or 9, we immediately talked. I immediately talked on the phone with about 5 or 6 of those folks. And some people were just asking some general salary questions, and other folks really wanted to dig in and know some of the other details of the job. And that's a great opportunity for you to be able to just fire off an email to ask questions, and we can respond that way. I'll give my phone number as well for the office, which is area code 912-554-7839. And again, I'm the recruiter, so you can call me, and I'll, if I'm not there, leave me a message, and I'll return your call, and we'll answer any questions that you have. And if I don't have an answer, I'll certainly find one for you. But we offer a tremendous amount of benefits as well. And one thing that I've found in my time doing this is that our benefits package is superior to the majority of the counties and the agencies that surround us. And that's something that makes me proud, because Glynn County does a good job of providing a comprehensive benefits package to the employees. So I'll go over that briefly, if that's all right. Quickly, you get paid time off per year. Glynn County recognizes 10 holidays. So at the police department, if your schedule falls and you're working a holiday that is recognized by Glynn County, you get holiday pay, which is double time and a half of your hourly rate, whatever your hourly rate is. You receive 96 hours of sick leave a year. And in your first calendar year, you receive 40 hours of annual leave, which will be considered more vacation pay. And then years 2 through 8, you receive 80 hours of annual leave. And then after year 8 up through year 21, you progressively increase with the amount of vacation time that you earn. Glynn County also offers an employee assistance program. So if you have any sort of counseling needs that you may need within your family, for the employee and the family, Glynn County will pay for the first 6 visits for employee assistance, if that does come up while you're employed with us. We have a health care plan, life insurance, and long-term disability. Again, basic life insurance and long-term disability are furnished by Glynn County. They take care of that for you. There are additional voluntary benefits. Dental and vision insurance are available, and that's paid for by the employee. We also have deferred compensation, which is a tax-deferred supplemental retirement that's through Nationwide Retirement Solutions. And then we also have a defined benefit retirement plan, which Glynn County pays for. That's right. If you come to work for Glynn County, they invest in your retirement, and you're eligible to receive that retirement. You're vested after 10 years of service, but it's also 30 years of service or the age 55. Whichever comes first, you can start drawing immediate unreduced payments. But a wonderful benefit to me is that the way I look at it is Glynn County provides you with one retirement, and if you participate in the deferred compensation through Nationwide Retirement Solutions, it actually serves as a second retirement, which is an amazing benefit to have. As far as our vehicles are concerned here at the police department, we have single officer assigned vehicles. All of us have been here long enough to remember the days of sharing vehicles, but thankfully the county commission has worked with us and provided enough vehicles over the years that we have single officer assigned vehicles. Currently, the take-home policy for the vehicles is if you live within the county limits. So, if you live within Glynn County, you can drive your car home. As far as your equipment goes, we provide all of your required equipment. From head to toe, we will give you every piece of equipment that you need. And even though it's 2020, I've talked to numerous other folks when I'm recruiting them from other agencies where they have to buy a portion of their own police equipment, whether it be duty gear, boots, things like that. They actually have to buy them themselves, and that's not the case at Glynn County. We provide everything that you need to do the job. And this fiscal year, career track and merit increases are not currently in place, but because we did take a hit, obviously because of COVID. But hopefully next year those benefits will come back, and career track, when it does come back next year, will give you the opportunity to have 4 career track pay scale increases from the date that you're hired, which equates to about 8 years of service. But each one of those career track increases is a 5% pay raise. So you have the ability, even taking a non-supervision route within the department, to still increase your pay amount. And that's a great benefit that nobody around here really has that I've seen. And then merit increases. At the point that those are able to come back, the merit increases are annual pay increases based on your performance evaluation. And we also have numerous specialized divisions and assignments. I get a lot of questions when I'm a recruiter as far as, hey, I want to be a detective. I'd like to work narcotics. Can I be a canine officer? And yes, we have all of those programs currently. Now, obviously, once you're hired in, you can't immediately maybe go into one of those, because everyone that's hired in will have to complete at least a 12-week field training officer program. But currently, we have waived our 2-year requirement for specialized divisions. So after you complete your FTO program, your field training officer program, you're eligible for divisions like Criminal Investigations Division, Specialized Investigations Unit, Traffic Division. There are other things that you can pursue that are more of a volunteer responsibility, like being a hostage negotiator on the hostage negotiation team, honor guard, SWAT team. You can do things like pursuing an interest in being an instructor, or eventually becoming a field training officer and turning around and training the ones that come behind you. So we offer numerous different divisions that you can end up transferring into. Everyone at the Glynn County Police Department starts out in the patrol division to begin with. Patrol is the backbone of the department, but there's many different areas that you can get into, things that may interest you, or different areas that you want to pursue.
Great. Colin, let's talk a little bit about some of the innovative things that you've done as far as recruiting. You're an instructor with
Yes,
the
sir.
department. Can you talk a little bit about going to the local police academy and talking to folks?
Sure. We have 2 academies that serve our general region. We have the Georgia Public Safety Training Center Academy in Savannah, and then we also have the Savannah Technical College Peace Officers Academy. So I work with both of those academies. As an instructor, I'm able to instruct other officers, and so periodically I will go up to the GPST Academy in Savannah, and I will teach there. And at the same time while I'm teaching, what I'm doing is recruiting those officers that I'm teaching as well. Now, the majority of the officers at the GPSTC Academy in Savannah, they already have a job lined up. Usually they're sponsored by an agency and they're already there. Occasionally you can still find someone who's considered pre-service, and that's someone who enters the police academy but is not sponsored by a police agency. They don't have a job lined up yet. So one thing that we started doing was we started reaching out to the Savannah Tech Peace Officers Academy. And when I recently went there to teach, 25 of the 26 current students are considered pre-service. They don't have a job lined up at graduation. So we were able to not only have a great day of instruction, but that gave me a full 8 hours to actually on every break kind of recruit them, talk to them, tell them about how great of a department we truly have. And before I left that day, I had 6 people, I think it was, that had already started filling out the application. And we're currently in the process of hiring 3 of them. They're at various stages of the process right now. I'm sorry, I apologize, 4 of them. And so we're planning on going back and teaching more because we want to, number one, whether they come to work for us or not, as instructors in law enforcement, and even as the Glynn County Police Department, we want to make sure that no matter where they go, they get the best education they can. So if we can go teach and build them up, that's what we want to do. And if we can recruit at the same time, then that's an extra added benefit. So that's one great thing that we've been able to do. And we have a great relationship with both of those academies, and we certainly plan on continuing to go and instruct and recruit. In addition to that, with obviously COVID putting a little bit of a damper on things, we've got 3 virtual job fairs that we're going to participate in over the course of the next 3 months. Those are through some different agencies and social media sites as well. So we'll be participating in those, and those are I mean, as far-reaching as social media can. So you never know where we're going to get applicants from with those. But that's something that we've never really done before, and it's sort of a necessity now. So we're learning and we're adapting and we're doing those things. I've also been in contact with, and we're going to participate in some virtual job fairs with a couple of historically black colleges, actually, that have welcomed us with open arms. And we're going to go up to Savannah State University, which it's kind of like going home to me a little bit because I attended Savannah State University, and well, I say we're going back up there. It's going to be virtual, but you know, it feels like kind of going back to where I used to attend class a little bit. And then also we're going to reach out to Edward Waters College in Jacksonville and Albany State University. So I've been in contact with all of their career services offices, and they're all on board, and we're going to do some virtual stuff with that. We've got something that we're planning in late October that we'd like to go up. It's actually in a little bit of the northern part of the state, because we do want to hire local people, but we also want to, you know, attract people from all over if we can as well. And that's going to be something we're going to hopefully go up and participate in person, a job fair that Georgia Police Jobs is hosting. So, in addition to that, social media. Officer Condo, our public information officer, has helped me tremendously branching out on social media, doing those kind of hiring pushes. We recently, together, he and I developed a basic recruitment flyer that we were able to push out to our social media platforms, and off of that alone, we got a ton of interest, and we were able to process some people off of that as well. So we're reaching out, and we're doing as many different and diverse things as we can to try to find recruits. Obviously, we want to increase our presence here in Glynn County. That's something we discussed with the Communities First group. And so as soon as we're able to, we'd like to host an in-person job fair, either with Glynn County Human Resources, once we're able to actually meet in person and do some of those things, and then additionally maybe just for the police department as well.
Now, speaking of Officer Condo, one of the things I think y'all are working on is a recruitment video that we hope to have completed to push out to people. Because I know a lot of people's question is, well, what is it like to be a Glynn County police officer? And in all actuality, we have a ride-along program that I'd like Captain Smith to talk a little bit about. And we invite, you know, citizens and people that are interested to come and take part in that ride-along program, so that you can see what our officers do and go through on a day-to-day basis, and decide if it's something you may be interested in doing. Captain Smith, you want to talk about the ride-along program?
Yes, like Chief Wiggins said earlier, we do have a ride-along program. On that, it allows citizens to ride with police officers. The only requirements is you fill out an application, which you can get from our record section. Once that's completed, it's given to me. The background check is conducted. If you pass the background check, I'll give you a call and you can schedule a ride-along. Currently, we're working 12-hour shifts from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. 7 days a week. And you can ride anytime during those hours.
Okay, great. And in the administrative division, of course, Captain Evans has been working on some things. Can you talk about some of the recruiting stuff that y'all have been working on, as far as reaching out to military bases and things like that, talking to people that may have been in a uniform before and that we want to maybe have transition into law enforcement?
Yeah, as Colin said before, COVID-19 has kind of put a damper on our recruiting process, but we still have been reaching out to like the neighboring bases, Kings Bay, Fort Stewart, Hunter Army Air Force Base, and we're actually going to be a part of their job fairs as well. We look at it because the soldiers that are interested in law enforcement have that disciplined mindset, and you know, we just look forward to employing them because they've done so much for our country already. They could actually do more for the community as well.
Now, something else that the group here has been working on also is, and I think a lot of people are familiar with PAL, the Police Athletic League. That is something we'd like to bring back. That is officers participating and working with youth in the community, basically around sports and sporting events. This is something that we discussed with Community First and they brought up. we want to get involved in young people's lives early and let them know that police officers are somebody they can trust, somebody that they can work with and look to as a mentor, because by doing that, we're bringing up the next generation of police officers. A lot of times that interaction pays dividends down the road. It may be several years before they reach the age or the level that they want to become involved in law enforcement. But having that opportunity to interact with those police officers in a more relaxed setting, I've been very happy and very impressed. We've been working on our citizen interactions on a day-to-day basis, and we have got a lot of really good positive feedback on our Facebook page, as well as several citizen commendations that have been sent in for officers going above and beyond. We as a department realize that we can't stay inside that police car and learn about our community. We've got to get out, we've got to talk with people, we've got to make those connections. Community policing, that is something that we're working more and more on every day. One of the things that Captain Evans and I and Captain Smith and some of the other command staff have talked about is we'd like to have a citizens police academy that we would conduct there within the police department, and that would be another opportunity for us to draw people in from the community, because as I've said earlier and as I've said in the past, the police department belongs to Glynn County, and we want people to feel at home there. We don't want them to feel that it's somewhere that they can't come to and can't interact with officers. We're always welcome. We've got some great meeting rooms down there that we encourage the community to use. We have our emergency operations center, which fortunately we didn't have to stand up recently because the storm passed us by. But if you have not seen it, we'd be absolutely love to show it off to you. It's a great space. It is theater-style seating. We can put 55 people in that room comfortably. We have a lot of video equipment, so we can do presentations and things in there. And that's also for the community to use. That's something that if you have a group that has a meeting and you need somewhere to come, we'd be glad to have you come and be a part of the police department. So tonight, really what we wanted to do was concentrate on recruitment and making the information that Officer Scoggins has put forth available to our community and to anybody that's watching. I know we have people that tune into these from all around, but the only way we're going to have a better police department is to go out and find good qualified police officers that are interested in being a part of the community and are interested in being a part of making it a better police department. So with that, Officer Condon, have we had any recruiting questions that we may need to address that have come up?
Nothing pertaining to recruitment, but you made a comment earlier about testing for nicotine. Can you explain the tobacco policy?
Yes, Glynn County actually recently changed their tobacco policy. They do test for cocaine, is what they actually test for. And if you test positive, then you're encouraged to attend smoking cessation classes. Now, if you choose not to attend those classes, then you will be assessed a surcharge each pay period if you choose not to. But you can use tobacco products and still work for Glynn County. But again, if you test positive, then they're going to encourage smoking cessation classes, and there would be a penalty fee if you do not attend those smoking cessation classes.
Great question. Anything else, Ben?
Do we have any status updates on the Explorer program?
The Explorer program, there again, has been kind of put on hold because of COVID. Putting a group of people into a room together right now is not something we're encouraging or have been encouraged to do. But we are looking at bringing that program back. It's been very successful in the past. Captain Evans is a product of the Explorer program. He was an Explorer with Glynn County Police Department many years ago, and now he is a captain with the agency. So we see the value in the Police Explorer program. We see a value in the PAL, the Police Athletic League, and they're on the table. We're looking at and working towards those goals. We do have our hands tied behind our back to some degree because of social distancing and things like that. But as we move forward, we will certainly bring those programs back online. And it's just a great opportunity to interact with the community, and they can come and learn and talk with the police officers and get a feel for how they are and how they interact.
So nothing further?
Okay.
One thing I'd like to add, Captain Evans was speaking about how we're going to be recruiting at the military bases. I don't think that some veterans realize if you have the post 9/11 GI Bill, it will actually pay for the police academy in the state of Georgia. So even currently, if you're considering it, if you're thinking about it, if you're kind of like, I'd like to attend the police academy maybe, but I don't know that I want to, start with an agency right away, keep that in mind. And if you will call me, we can go over some more details of that. But yeah, the post 9/11 GI Bill will pay for the cost of the police academy. So that's something to think about. Now, obviously, if you apply with us and we hire you, we're going to pay for the police academy. So, but it's definitely another option.
Can you also explain about the VA OJT?
Yeah, we also participate in the Georgia Veterans Affairs on-the-job training program. So what that does is it's, again, sponsored by the post 9/11 GI Bill. And what that means is that you can receive on-the-job training pay. So they've allotted a certain amount, the VA does, and once you come to work for us, during your first calendar year, you're able to receive on-the-job training pay from the VA. And I'm not going to go into the amounts necessarily, but it usually equates to almost receiving 2 paychecks, if you will, because you're receiving a paycheck from Glynn County, but you're also getting reimbursed with Veterans Affairs on-the-job training money. So it's a great program that we participate in.
Absolutely great program. Captain, anything else you want to do?
No, sir.
Captain Smith? Officer Condo?
We had one final question here.
Okay.
Are there any efforts to diversify the department through recruitment? I heard mention of Edwards, Waters, and local colleges, but any contacts with HBCUs to help expand the applicant pool?
Great question.
Yeah, great question. And yes, we are currently recruiting, planning to participate in recruiting events with several historically black colleges and universities. And in addition to that, we're working with several community organizations, like Communities First, to develop some programs to where we may begin going out to meet with groups, whether it be churches or social groups or things like that, when we're able to, depending on COVID, to diversify. And in the current 22 22 candidates that I'm processing, right now we're processing 8 black males, 2 black females, and 2 Hispanic males. So, in the recruiting efforts that I've been doing since the time that I've taken this over, trying to diversify as much as we can and reach out as much as we can, because our police department should represent our community makeup. And so that's one thing that we're striving for.
And that's a great point, Colin, that you hit on is, we've heard the term citizen soldiers. Well, police officers are citizen police officers. They're representative of our community, and it's important to us that we are as diverse as possible to represent our community, so that we can move forward and work with the community to make it a better police department. So with that, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's virtual town hall. We hope we've answered some questions for you. I'm sure we all hope that you'll reach out to us and take us up on our, I don't want to say challenge, but we challenge you to come and be a part of the police department. As we have said, be a part of the solution, not part of the problem. And if you want to see change, Officer Scoggins said it earlier, you be that change. Come and be a part of our police department and help us make it a better police department, help us move forward and make it a better police department for our community. So we just want to, go ahead, Colin.
Sorry,
No,
I
please.
was just also advised that the Montgomery GI Bill will pay for the police academy as well. So Montgomery GI Bill or post 9/11 GI Bill, either one will pay. So.
And please don't let this be the last time that we talk. If you have questions, Officer Scoggins is available to address those questions. He has been very aggressive in reaching out and finding people that are interested in becoming Glynn County police officers, and we appreciate his hard work. So thank you very much, Colin, for being here and reporting on that. And please reach out to us and let us know what we can do to help you or to be a better police department. you never know where your next big idea is going to come from. So don't hold back. We've got thick skin. That's part of being a police officer, and we know that our community has concerns and they have things that they want to see take place within the police department, and we want to try and do that as we move forward. So again, we thank you very much for joining us tonight, and we will put out an update when we do our next virtual town hall meeting. We have every intention of continuing this program because we feel it's important to as much as possible have an interchange with you, the community here in Glynn County. And right now, currently, this is one of our best vehicles for doing that. But as we move forward, we certainly hope that we get a chance to meet each and everybody in person that has a concern and try and address those concerns. So again, thank you so much. Please monitor our social media, and we will put out information in regards to our next virtual town hall meeting. If you have questions, please address those to Officer Condo, and we will have those, try and have answers for those at our next meeting. So thank you all, and thank you all for being here. Anna, we appreciate your help. Officer Condo, thank you. Captain Smith and Evans, thank you all. And Officer Scoggins, again, thank you for your hard work with recruiting for the police department. So again, thank you all very much. And